Have you ever stopped and wondered why some people achieve extraordinary things while others never even try? Is it talent? Intelligence? Luck? Or is there something else? Something hidden, quietly shaping every decision you make? The truth is, your mind is constantly creating stories about who you are, what you're capable of, and what you should never attempt. The problem is, your brain doesn't always know the difference between a real limit and an imagined one. A single belief, repeated often enough, can become an invisible wall. A wall that silently controls your confidence, your choices, your future, and ultimately, your entire life. But what if those walls were never real in the first place? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you've always wanted is a story your mind has been telling you for years? Today, we're going to uncover the hidden psychology behind those invisible limits, understand why your brain creates them, and most importantly, learn how to break free from them. Because once you see the prison, you can finally escape it. Part 1. The Invisible Prison. Imagine spending your entire life inside a prison without ever seeing its walls. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? Yet millions of people live exactly this way, every single day. The strongest prisons are never built from concrete or steel. They're built from beliefs. Quiet beliefs that whisper, "You're not smart enough. You're too old. You're not the kind of person who succeeds." At first, they're just words. But over time, they become your reality. Without realizing it, you begin making decisions based on those invisible rules. You avoid opportunities, stay inside your comfort zone, and slowly convince yourself that the life you truly want simply isn't meant for you. The frightening part? Most of these beliefs were never yours. They were borrowed from childhood experiences, criticism, fear, failure, and the opinions of people who never truly understood your potential. And your brain accepted every one of them as truth. But the moment you recognize those invisible walls, they begin to lose their power. Part 2. The first lie your brain ever learned. Every limiting belief has a beginning. No one is born believing they're not good enough. No child enters the world thinking, "I'm not smart enough. I'll never succeed." Those ideas are learned. Think back to your childhood. Maybe someone laughed at your mistake. Maybe a teacher compared you to someone else. Maybe you failed once, and everyone acted as if that single moment defined who you were. Your brain was still developing. It couldn't separate temporary experiences from permanent truth. So instead of thinking, "I failed this time," your mind quietly rewrote the story. "I am a failure." That's how the first lie is born. And once your brain accepts that lie, it starts looking for evidence to prove it right. Every setback becomes confirmation. Every rejection feels personal. Every challenge becomes another reason to stay small. The strange thing is, your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you. It believes that if you never try, you'll never get hurt again. But safety often becomes the biggest obstacle to growth. And unless you challenge that first lie, it will continue writing every chapter of your future without your permission. Part 3. Why your brain loves comfort more than success. If you've ever wondered, why do I keep going back to the same habits?
even when I know they're holding me back? The answer is surprisingly simple. Your brain isn't designed to make you successful. It's designed to keep you alive. Thousands of years ago, survival depended on avoiding danger. Anything unfamiliar could be a threat. So your brain developed one powerful rule. If it feels safe, stay there. That rule helped our ancestors survive. But in today's world, that same rule can quietly destroy your potential. Starting a business, speaking in front of people, applying for your dream job, or simply stepping outside your comfort zone, your brain often treats all of these as if they're life-threatening. That's why your heart races, your hands feel cold, and suddenly, excuses begin to appear. Maybe next week. I'm not ready yet. I'll wait until the timing is perfect. But here's the truth. Growth has never lived inside comfort. Everything you've ever wanted, confidence, success, freedom, exists just beyond the place your brain keeps telling you not to go. The moment you understand that fear isn't always a warning, sometimes it's simply proof that you're growing.
Part 4. The stories you repeat become your reality. Every single day, your mind tells you a story. Most of the time, you don't even notice it's happening. It begins the moment you wake up. I'm not disciplined enough. People like me never get ahead. I've always been this way. At first, they seem like harmless thoughts. But your brain doesn't hear them as opinions. It hears them as instructions. And once your mind accepts a story, it begins searching for evidence to support it. If you believe you're unlucky, you'll notice every disappointment and ignore every opportunity. If you believe you're not confident, you'll remember every awkward moment while forgetting the times you were actually brave. This is how your identity is quietly built. Not by facts, but by the stories you repeat.
Part 5. The comfort zone is quietly stealing your future. Comfort feels safe. That's exactly why it's so dangerous. Your comfort zone doesn't trap you overnight. It keeps you still, one small decision at a time. I'll start tomorrow. I'm not ready yet. Maybe next month. At first, those excuses seem harmless. But days become months. Months become years. And without noticing, you've built a life around avoiding discomfort. The truth is, nothing extraordinary happens where everything feels familiar. Every skill you've ever wanted, every opportunity you've dreamed about, every version of yourself you've imagined lives just outside your comfort zone. Yes, taking that first step will feel uncomfortable. Your brain will tell you to turn back. Don't listen. Because discomfort isn't always a sign that you're making the wrong choice. Sometimes, it's proof that you're becoming someone stronger. The life you've been waiting for doesn't begin when you feel ready. It begins the moment you decide to move anyway. Part 6. Your brain sees failure as a threat, not a lesson. Why do so many people give up after just one failure? Because the brain doesn't naturally see failure as feedback. It sees it as danger. The moment something goes wrong, your mind begins asking questions that hold you back. What if it happens again? What will people think?
maybe I'm just not good enough. But successful people ask different questions. What can I learn? How can I improve? What's my next move? The event is exactly the same, only the meaning is different. Failure has never been proof that you can't succeed. It's simply evidence that you're trying. Every inventor, every entrepreneur, every athlete, and every great leader has failed more times than most people ever dare to begin. The difference isn't talent, it's the decision to keep moving. The moment you stop treating failure as the end, it becomes the beginning of your greatest growth. Because every setback carries a lesson if you're willing to look for it.
Part 7. The Identity Trap. You become what you believe. Your life is always moving in the direction of your identity. If you believe you're an average person, you'll make average choices. If you believe you're capable of growth, your actions begin to change. Your identity is built by the thoughts you repeat, not by the results you see today. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you're becoming. Read one page and you become a reader. Exercise once and you become someone who values health. Keep your promises to yourself and you become someone who trusts yourself. Small actions quietly reshape your identity. The greatest transformation doesn't happen when your circumstances change. It happens when your beliefs change. Stop asking, how can I become successful? Start asking, who do I need to become? The moment your identity changes, your habits, your decisions, and eventually your entire life begin to follow. Now think about the images you feed your mind every single day. If you constantly picture yourself failing, being rejected, or not being good enough, your brain starts preparing for those outcomes before they even happen. But the opposite is also true. When you repeatedly imagine yourself staying calm, taking action, overcoming challenges, and succeeding, your brain begins building confidence instead of fear. Your imagination is more than entertainment. It's training. The pictures you replay today become the beliefs you carry tomorrow. And those beliefs shape every decision you make. So choose your thoughts carefully, because the future you imagine slowly becomes the future you create. Part 9. The people around you shape your limits. The people around you influence your thinking more than you realize. Spend enough time with people who complain, and you'll begin seeing problems everywhere. Surround yourself with people who believe in growth, and your mind slowly starts believing that growth is possible too. Your environment is quietly shaping your future. Your brain is always observing. It copies attitudes, habits, and expectations from the people you spend the most time with. That's why confidence can spread. So can fear. If everyone around you believes success is impossible, eventually you'll start believing it too, without even noticing. Choose your circle with intention. You don't need people who constantly tell you you're perfect. You need people who challenge you, inspire you, and remind you of what's possible. Because sometimes, changing your life doesn't begin with changing yourself. It begins by changing the voices you listen to every day. Part 10. Your past is not your future. Your past may explain who you are today, but it doesn't decide who you become tomorrow. Too many people carry old mistakes like permanent labels. One failure, one rejection, one difficult chapter, and suddenly they believe their story is already written. The truth is, every new decision gives you the chance to write a different future.
Your brain loves familiar patterns. It keeps reminding you of what went wrong because it thinks it's protecting you. But every time you say, "I've always been this way," you strengthen the chains that keep you stuck. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Your brain loves familiar patterns. It keeps reminding you of what went wrong because it thinks it's protecting you. But every time you say, "I've always been this way," you strengthen the chains that keep you stuck. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence.
The people you admire weren't born different. They simply refuse to let yesterday define today. Your future doesn't depend on where you've been. It depends on the choices you make, starting now. Because one courageous decision can break years of limiting beliefs and completely change the direction of your life. Part 11. The power of small daily decisions. Success is rarely created by one big moment. It's built through small decisions, repeated every single day. One extra page, one better choice, one more step forward. They may seem insignificant today, but over time, they shape the person you become. Part 11. The power of small daily decisions. Success is rarely created by one big moment. It's built through small decisions, repeated every single day. One extra page, one better choice, one more step forward. They may seem insignificant today, but over time, they shape the person you become.
Your brain is always paying attention to what you do consistently. Every positive habit sends a simple message. This is who I am. That's how confidence is built, not through motivation alone, but through keeping small promises to yourself, again and again. Never underestimate the power of tiny actions. A single decision may not change your life overnight, but repeated every day, it can completely transform your future. Because success isn't the result of one extraordinary choice. It's the result of ordinary choices, made consistently, even when nobody is watching. Never underestimate the power of tiny actions. A single decision may not change your life overnight, but repeated every day, it can completely transform your future. Because success isn't the result of one extraordinary choice. It's the result of ordinary choices, made consistently, even when nobody is watching. Part 12. Fear grows stronger when you avoid it. Fear has a strange habit. The more you avoid it, the bigger it becomes. Every time you walk away from a challenge, your brain believes it saved you from danger. And the next time, that same fear feels even more powerful. Without realizing it, avoidance becomes a habit. But something incredible happens the moment you face what scares you. The fear doesn't disappear overnight. It simply begins to lose its control. One difficult conversation, one bold decision, one step outside your comfort zone can teach your brain that you're stronger than it imagined. Courage doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you refuse to let fear make your decisions. Every time you choose action over excuses, you retrain your mind. And little by little, the limits that once controlled your life begin to disappear. Because fear only remains powerful until you decide to walk straight through it.
Part 13. Your brain believes what you repeatedly practice. Your brain is always learning, whether you realize it or not. Every thought you repeat, every habit you perform, and every choice you make strengthens a pathway inside your mind. That's why repeating negative patterns makes them feel normal. And repeating positive actions makes them feel natural.
The brain doesn't change because of one powerful moment. It changes through repetition. That's why champions practice the basics long after they've mastered them. Excellence isn't created by doing something extraordinary once. It's created by doing ordinary things extraordinarily well, again and again.
Part 14.
The moment you stop doubting yourself. Self-doubt doesn't appear overnight. It grows quietly, one negative thought at a time. The more you question your abilities, the more your brain searches for reasons to prove those doubts right. Before long, you stop chasing opportunities. Not because you can't succeed, but because you've convinced yourself that you can't.
Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, take action despite uncertainty, or refuse to give up, you send your brain a powerful message. I can handle this. And with every small victory, your confidence becomes stronger. There comes a moment when you must choose. Will you keep listening to the voice of doubt? Or will you trust the person you're becoming? Because the biggest breakthrough in your life won't happen when the world starts believing in you. It will happen the moment you start believing in yourself. Final part. The only limit that ever truly existed. Your mind is far more powerful than you've ever been led to believe. For years, you've been carrying invisible limits that felt completely real. But today, you know the truth. Those limits were never your destiny. They were only stories, repeated until they became beliefs. And every belief can be rewritten. From this moment forward, question every thought that tells you you're not enough. Take one small step, even when fear tells you to stay where you are. Progress doesn't require perfection. It only requires the courage to keep moving. Remember, the life you've been waiting for begins with a single decision to believe that change is possible. One day, you'll look back and realize something incredible. The door was never locked. You were holding the key the entire time. So don't let this be just another video you watched. Let it become the moment everything started to change. Because your greatest chapter isn't behind you. It's waiting for the choice you make today.